If you're losing games in Madden 25, you are most likely using the wrong coaching adjustment settings. Now, 9 out of 10 players I see play, even pro players, do not use the proper coaching adjustment settings. And in today's video, I'm going to break down the best settings to use on both offense and defense to ensure you win more games. So let's get into it. Guys, if you don't know me, my name is Duke, and I run sportsgamers.com, where for years I've helped thousands upon thousands of Madden gamers and even college football gamers win more games. Today, we're dropping that knowledge on you, and we're going to start on the offensive side of the ball. Now, this doesn't matter what playbook or formation you're going to use. You need to know the coaching adjustments to use. Now, to access coaching adjustments, when you're at the play call screen hovering over your formation, you're simply going to click the right analog stick in. Now, I want to go over offensive first. There's actually more I want to cover on defensive, so I want to start with offense first. So first of all, when it comes to tempo, deep pass catching, intermediate pass catching, blocking, I'm going to be honest with you. There's really not much you're going to want to mess with. For the catching, you're definitely going to want to keep it unbalanced. You start putting this on conservative and aggressive, it's not going to do much for you. The risk outweighs the reward. Same thing with blocking. Yeah, you might get a little bit better blocking here and there, but you're going to get penalties. The worst thing to do is put this on aggressive, think, oh, I'm going to get better blocking, and then you get a 10 or 15-yard penalty, and you're screwed. You don't want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and keep all this on balance. Now with tempo, this is actually something you could utilize. The one thing I'm going to warn you guys is do not use no huddle. If you use no huddle on this game, you're going to get an auto runoff with no huddle from the game clock. I don't know why. I think it's a bug in the game. They actually give you a runoff when you no huddle, but they don't give you a runoff when you just come to the line. So never use no huddle. However, you do want to use chew clock. Chew clock is very good. It basically kills the clock, brings the play clock down when you have a lead and you're milking clock. But the biggest key here is never use no huddle. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but if you're trying to, go fast, it is always better to come to the line versus no huddling because you don't get any runoff coming to the line. The other thing about no huddle is it's literally impossible to get out of unless you either basically have the quarter end or I guess you could call timeout, but it's very annoying to even get out of, so never use no huddle. Now I'm going to just leave it on normal and balanced. Now, ball carrier offensively is the biggest thing we want to look at, and actually this recent patch really changed ball carrier. So with balanced, you're going to be able to do moves, you're going to be able to juke, you're going to be able to spin, but you can't fumble. Aggressive, you'll break more tackles, but you also will fumble more. Conservative, you basically will very, very, very rarely fumble, basically never fumble, but you can't do any ball carrier moves. They actually just patched this because, guys, before the patch, you could come out here, just chuck a quick pass to the flat. You could spin move 10 times, and you could do that on a conservative, no chance of fumbling. But now, if you guys see here, if I try to spin on conservative, it's not going to let me. So you can no longer do any spins, any moves whatsoever on conservative, but I will tell you it is definitely worth it because you don't want to fumble in this game. Defense is challenging for most players. It's not worth the risk of fumbling. If you fumble, you're probably going to lose. So keep this on conservative. Now, like I said, there's actually a lot more to get into defensively. Offensively, other than the tempo and the ball carrier, honestly, there's not really much you're going to change. Defensively, it's a different story. And still, to access your coaching adjustments, you're going to hit at the basic play call screen, the right analog stick down. Now, guys, if you're new to my channel, I do daily Madden 25 videos. I do tips. I do gameplays. I also do some college football content. So if you enjoy high-level content, if you're trying to get better at the game, no better place to be. Smash that like button, follow the channel, man. Give me a comment, man. Let me know what you think, what type of videos you would like to see, what you need help with. I'm all about providing the best experience for the user, man. So let's look at the coaching adjustments. First of all, a lot of people don't understand the way these work. So auto flip, what does that do? Auto flip basically will allow it, so say you're running a nickel formation. If you have auto flip on, that nickel corner is always going to align to the offensive formation. So let's say, we are running nickel, right? They're in bunch. Well, with auto flip on, The nickel corner, that side of the formation will always align to the bunch side. So if the bunch is on the right, you'll see the nickel corner will come out on the right. But let's say that they flip their offensive formation. If you're looking to get better at Madden 25 and win more games, sportsgamers.com is the place to be. Check out my Madden VIP membership where you get access to all of my Madden 25 content all year long. You'll get access to every offensive and defensive game plan I release, all of my secret premium tips that I release every week for my VIP members, and finally, access to my VIP community with guaranteed updates all year long. Click the link in the description and use coupon code DUKE for 10% off your order. Let's dominate together, boys. Okay, now their bunch is on the left. Well, now you'll see the nickel corner. He'll go to the left. So this just kind of makes it easy for you defensively to match up with offensive formations and not have to play that guessing game. Oh, did they flip their formation or not? You don't know. This eliminates that guessing game. The only time you'd want to leave auto flip off is, and I do this sometimes, maybe you have a blitz where the blitz only works if you flip the formation or maybe if you don't flip it, right? The blitz doesn't work with auto flip on. So if you have a glitchy blitz, you don't need to flip the formation no matter what, then you turn it off. But if you're not running anything like that, it is best to have auto flip on, not gonna lie. Alignment. This is actually a big one. So default, if you leave it on default, each play is basically going to line up the way it would based upon that specific play. So the disadvantage to that is you can have coverage tells. What do I mean by that? Well, let me pick a cover 3. You guys can see with default, it's just lining it up how it normally would. And well, cover 3, it kind of gives it away because I got the single high safety, right? Houston in the middle of the field, indicating that's a single high safety, probably cover 3 or cover 1, right? But then also you get these DBs. You guys can see he's kind of lined up outside of this receiver, indicating zone. So a smart player puts 2 and 2 together. They're like, oh, he's in cover 3, and you might get cover 3 bombed, right? Now, there's other tells too. That's just a very small example. Let's see here. Oh, let's go mid blitz. So we're on default. What do we see here? Well, we see that the safeties are, aggressively on the line of scrimmage. They're 8 to 10 yards on the line of scrimmage. Again, with off-man coverage. Any smart player is going to see this and be like, this is a cover 0 blitz. We got the DBs lined up over the receivers, but they're in off-man coverage. And then we got the safeties. They're lined up in more so in the box. This is cover 0. So when you have the fault on, smart offensive players are going to be able to look at your play and they're going to probably have a good idea of what kind of coverage you're calling. That's not good. That's not good because you give a smart offensive player that type of info, they're calling the play most likely to destroy what coverage they see you're in. So I don't really like the fault too much and most of the time because it just gives away too many tells. Now, there is a way to get around this, and that's if you're running a formation that has the shell feature. So the shell feature is not technically a coaching adjustment, but it is very important. And the shell feature is going to allow you, while on default, to hide what coverage or what type of defense you're running. So you'll see under the 3 play calls, you'll see shell default, right? Well, if I have that option, I can flip the right analog stick and change the shell to cover 0, 2-man, cover 2, cover 4, 6, whatever you want to do. So now I could say, hey, maybe I want to disguise everything to look like cover 4. So I come out in cover 3. Let's just come out into cover 3. Next cover 3 play. Cover 3 sky, right? We know cover 3 is, the 1 high safety, right? But no, this does not look like cover 3. We're disguising it, so we're disguising our shell. Same thing, I could come out in a cover 0 blitz and be like, I don't want them to know I'm in cover 0. Let's come out of that double mug mid blitz. Oh, excuse me, can't do that because it doesn't have the option in that formation. Like I said, not all formations have this option, annoyingly enough. But let's just do pinch 0, right? Let's cover 0 blitz. But, again, doesn't look like it. So we can make all of our different defenses, if we're on default, using a coverage shell, look the same. So that's actually a very cool feature because it gives us the best of both worlds. We can also get around that in every formation by using base alignment. Base alignment is basically going to make every play in the formation line up the same way, no matter what. So again, it will get rid of those tells. So like here, if I go back to, this right here, the nickel I'm in a cover 3 blitz. Everyone's lining up the same way, right? I could come out in, mid blitz 0, which is a man blitz this time. Again, they're lining up the same way. So it kind of does the same thing. It eliminates tells, but it's not the best thing in the world because, well, your corners are out wide like this no matter what. So if you're a man and they're in something like, tight or bunch compression, where the receivers are lined up inside, you're obviously not in the best alignment to play man coverage. So obviously there's weaknesses. It's also more annoying to do certain adjustments in baseline, like individually backup corners. There's some workarounds, but it's, you don't want to have to do them because it's annoying. It's like, you already are getting quick snap. Do you really want to do extra steps in your defense? Probably not, right? So that's base and default. Last one is man. This is basically going to make defense look like man. So advantage of this is like, say you're running a nickel blitz, right? You got a blitz from nickel. You didn't want to flip the play no matter what because the blitz doesn't work. But you always want the nickel corner on the strong side. You could turn auto flip on with man alignment, and now your defense would, like, so say I'm in like this Overstorm Brave. I want to always have it not flipped or flipped either way, but I want the nickel corner on the strong side. This would do it for you. So that is kind of how to do a little bit of both at the same time, if you feel me, So that is one that is useful at times too. Now, I would say the alignment is one of the most important ones to understand. Corner matchups, I'm just going to say this is a useless one in my opinion. Put it on balance. You don't want to be doing that. It's buggy. Just leave it on balance. Option defense is pretty straightforward. Put on conservative. You're going to make sure they can't keep it with the quarterback. I would say, for me, I don't want to give up big plays with a quarterback read option, just keeping the ball, catching me off guard, not thinking about it, right? So I'm going to put on conservative, and this is going to make them always basically have to hand the ball off on the dive or whatever. And if they do that, we should be able to blow it up because honestly, gap shooting a dive on an option is not hard. So we'll leave it at that. Strip ball and tackling. This is kind of like what I said on offense. These are not worth messing with. It's kind of like the risk outweighs the reward like it did with blocking. Yeah, you might randomly get a fluke play, but you're going to get a lot more penalties than you do fluke plays, so don't mess with these. Keep it on balance. Zone drops. This is another big one. This essentially allows you to tell your specific type of flat, curl flat or hook zone, depending upon which setting you change, what depth to play at. Now, when you leave it on default, you can shade your flats or your hook zones up or down. If you shade a hook zone up or down, if you shade it down, it'll play underneath. Shade it up, it'll play over the top. Shade a flat zone down, it'll be like a hard flat, basically, play underneath. Shade it over the top, it'll be like a cloud flat, play a little bit deeper. So it's good to have them on default because you get the versatility of being able to shade your coverage. But sometimes you're playing a glitcher, you feel me, a glitcher, and he got a play that you just can't stop. You need to tell your flat zone, hey, no matter what, I want you at 25 yards or whatever it is to stop this glitch's play. That's when you want to use your zone drops. If you're just playing someone who has a really good play, you can't stop it with just default adjustments. This is where you tell your zone, hey, I need you to play at this depth to stop what he's doing. This is basically the only time I use it is when someone just has something that I can't stop with basically default settings and shadings. Then I'll change it. But like a lot of people will tell you, hey, put your zone drops on this, put it on that, and just start the game off like that. It's not good advice. You really only want to start messing with these when someone gives you a reason to. Leaving them on default allows you to shade up or down and stop a lot of stuff. When you start changing these for no reason, you're going to get yourself into trouble. Also, having zone drops on, if you're a guy that plays match, no, it's not something you really want to be doing. It's way too buggy on this game right now. So, hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, smash that like button. That really helps me out as a creator be able to continue to do these free videos for you guys. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.